Top 10 TV shows which have time travel in it. Time travel is everyone's childhood fantasy that never gets old. Humans love the idea of visiting the past and exploring their future, which doesn't seem to be possible, so we have brought you a top list of TV shows which actually have time travel in it. Number 10. Loki. Fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU for short, already know that Loki, or Tom Hiddleston, may be a master trickster. He's the god of mischief, and for years his role in these movies was relegated to villain, nuisance, and foil to his brother Thor, or Chris Hemsworth, obviously. But with Loki, he races through time and space during a series that puts him at the forefront of his own story. The series may be a crime thriller that follows an alternate version of Loki who stole the Tesseract from the Avengers Endgame, an occasion that broke reality, and as this stuff goes, it's now his responsibility to repair what he broke. Owen Wilson's Mobius M. Mobius recruited him at the mysterious Time Variance Authority to travel through history and correct the timeline he muddled. The series is the closest thing to putting an actual magazine on screen, filled with madcap twists and turns, and seemingly self-contained, without having to put a lot of emphasis on fixing for future MCU installments. Number 9. Doctor Who. This one may be a given, but we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Doctor Who. And honestly, if you haven't watched this long-time-running British sci-fi series already, we're unsure you'll even call yourself a lover of time travel. Doctor Who follows a centuries-old alien referred to as the Doctor, who has the power to regenerate and wears different faces when he does so, hence the long-running bit. The Doctor, currently played by Jodie Whittaker, takes unsuspecting ladies, and a couple of dudes, on ridiculous trips through time and space. Yep, this one checks the spaceflight box too. If you prefer to watch Doctor Who, though, be warned, you'll find yourself getting into a fight with someone on Tumblr about which Doctor is the best. It's literally inevitable. Number 8. Travelers. Netflix's Travelers, initially a co-production with Canada's Showcase, doesn't even get half the popularity it deserves for constructing impossibly complex time travel mythology that's still understandable and interesting for the audience. So we recognize it by putting it on this list. Within the series, squads of elite soldiers visit for many years in the future to change history and save humanity. If that doesn't sound cool enough, allow us to add that they are doing so by sending their consciousnesses into the bodies of individuals close to dying and assuming their identities. So freaking cool. Number 7. 12 Monkeys. Based on the 1995 movie with the equivalent name, 12 Monkeys follows a time traveler who travels between 2043 to 2015 to prevent a deadly virus from wiping out most of the planet's population. However, what starts as an easy mission to the past turns into a mind-boggling journey, a number of the most important historical events of the 20th century, and a reasonably epic romance. The series digs into principles of time travel like causation and paradoxes, so while it's going to offer you a headache, as mentioned above, it is seriously worthwhile. Number 6. DC's Legends of Tomorrow. In a sea of series that specialize in saving the planet with time travel, DC's Legends of Tomorrow easily could have gotten lost within the mud. Luckily, this CW series quickly established that it is 1 part nonsense, 2 parts pure fun, which set it apart from all of the others. If you're looking for a lighter series to assist you while away, this one is undoubtedly for you. The Legends team does find themselves saving the planet quite a few times, but most of the time, they only end up turning themselves into singing puppets or fighting giant stuffed animals. Number 5. Outlander. If you're looking for something a touch more romantic to binge watch, Outlander is your ticket. This series follows Claire Beauchamp, or Catronia Balfe, an English World War II nurse who accidentally travels from 1945 back to 1743 while visiting Scotland together with her husband, Tobias Menzies. Thrown into the past and wanting to get home, Claire is embroiled during a Scottish uprising while slowly but surely falling crazy with a ruggedly handsome redhead named Jamie Fraser. Number 4. Timeless. Though Timeless was cancelled twice, its devoted fan base, referred to as Clockbusters, was so passionate that the NBC series ended up getting a 2-hour series finale made to wrap things up. So you don't need to worry about that cliffhanger ending. The show follows a history professor, Abigail Spencer, and a soldier, Matt Lanter, and also an engineer, Malcolm Barrett, who used a government-created machine to trace down a mysterious villain who is trying to rewrite American history. This pairs the notion of DC's Legends of Tomorrow with the high stakes of 12 Monkeys, making it the proper middle-of-the-road options for time travel fans. Number 3. Terra Nova. Though it had been canceled after only one season, we still include Terra Nova on this list because of one thing only: dinosaurs. Set during a dying world where overpopulation has humans on the brink of extinction, scientists have found a way to send people back in time to the Cretaceous era, where the air is breathable, the food is plentiful, and therefore humanity can start over. Unfortunately, it is also where the dinosaurs are hungry for human flesh, so that's a drag. This show wasn't executed alright, hence its cancellation, but it's worth a watch anyways just to see hot people die from raptors. Number 2. Lost in Austin. When you can take a vacation from all that action and adventure, Lost in Austin may be a great time travel alternative. Instead of intrinsically traveling through time, the lead character, Amanda Price, or Jamina Rupert, travels into the planet of her favorite novel, Pride and Prejudice. Trapped within the Georgian era, and therefore the fictional lives of Mr. Darcy, Elliot Cohen, and consequently the Bennett family, Amanda unwittingly ends up as a personality within the story she loves so dearly and falling crazy with Darcy herself. Before we could get into the best pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Continuum follows Kiara Cameron, or Rachel Nichols. Continuum follows Kiara Cameron, who is a longtime policewoman who finds herself stranded in the present. When she connects with a teenage genius and the two strike up an unlikely partnership that will help them stop ruthless killers who have time traveled as well, Continuum could have quickly fallen into the police procedural tropes we've seen a million times. But the futuristic angle and a posh set of characters and relationships made this show memorable. As a protagonist, Kiara is compelling. She's excellent at her job, but also an individual out of her time. She's simultaneously solving cases while unable to do the one thing she wants most: to return to her time in her life. But the series evolves. Alec, or Eric Knudsen, Kiara's trusty tech partner, has surprising story arcs. Kiara's fellow detective, Carlos Fanagra, or Victor Webster, is way more layered than one expects. Directly pleased to possess a competent associate like Kiara, Carlos goes through bouts of suspicion when Kiara proves too good to be true. During the show, villains are even as compelling, ready to thwart Kiara's efforts while having stories of their own. Featuring a who's who of Canadian actors, Continuum is one of the rare shows to be filmed and set in Vancouver, British Columbia, making it quite a hit for Canadian audiences. Erased. Erased was a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Kei Sanbi. The series was adapted into a live-action show by Netflix, with an anime adaptation also available on Netflix. So this is a 2-in-1 entry. Erased is the story of Satoru Fujinuma, who has the power to travel into the past. When faced with imminent tragedy, Satoru must return to his childhood and stop the murder and kidnappings of his schoolmates. Both the anime and therefore the live-action shows are enthralling to watch. The characters are regular people who want to fix the wrongs in their lives, which makes them compelling to watch. Noriko Eguchi, who plays the mother within the live-action show, is brilliant for this role. The central mystery will keep you jittery, especially the storyline set in the past because the characters are all children, trying to make the other ones safe. The Japanese setting may be a refreshing change from most other shows as well. Because the series is character-driven, you feel like you're getting a taste of what living with these people would be like. The show also showcases Japanese cuisine that isn't just sushi, which is great to see. The series could also easily be adapted for more seasons, but the showrunners stuck to just the story of the first manga and bound up the entire arc in one season. Number 1. Dark. The critically acclaimed Netflix series Dark isn't only a sophisticated time travel drama, it's also a German series, so prepare for the show with subtitles on. The series, which just wrapped up its third and final season, follows multiple generations of 4 interconnected families living within the German town of Winden. Once you finish the show, our genealogy will help explain how most are connected, which, with great care, happens to be home to an underground tunnel and wormhole. Time travel and family drama bring out a particularly complicated series. We don't recommend having this one on in the background, folks. You need full, undivided attention to even begin to try and figure out just what the heck is going on. So, that's all for today's video, guys. I hope you found this video maybe interesting and useful. Until next time, stay tuned into our channel for more amazing videos.